Hello dear aspirants. This is Sonali Mehra, faculty at Mentora IAS. Today I have come up with this discussion session for all the serious UPSC aspirants who are dealing with lot of questions regarding their civil services examination preparation. Whether you are in the beginning stage of your preparation or you are in the middle of your preparation, meaning you have given some of your attempts, this session is for everyone. This will give you clarity that how one should be first of all having that big picture in front of them at the very first place, and then how one need to decode this entire syllabus and what UPSC actually wants from the serious aspirants, so how you should be proceeding towards it, right? There are lot of questions, as I have told you, right from how your day should look like, what activities you should be doing, what activities you should not be doing. Lot of subjects you might not be very comfortable reading with, and then there are some subjects you are very comfortable reading with. You will be finding those subjects more easy to work with. Then there is another thing, how one should be working with the PYQs, how one should be using PYQs so that they can understand at what length and breadth and depth one need to go while covering any topic, how many books on one particular subject one need to follow, how to go about the entire note making stuff, how to start answer writing practice, when to start answer writing practice, when to start lot of writing mock tests and mock answers. So these are different questions, right? And each one of us at some point of time in our preparation stage has been through these questions. Today, the objective of this session, as I have told you, is to simply answer all these questions in a proper sequence. Let us begin our discussion and let us first of all decode UPSC Civil Services Examination preparation. So these are the 5 areas which I would like to first of all talk about when it comes to preparation for this particular examination. So the first thing that you're seeing here is the first and very important thing, I would say, the most important thing that you should be coming up with is to understand the exam structure. Yes, to understand the exam structure. Now, when I say understanding the exam structure, what I mean is, first of all, the big picture thing, meaning first of all understand that there are 3 stages that one need to first of all prepare for. Preparation is the second step. First step is to gather knowledge and right knowledge, the optimum knowledge about that. Nowadays we have lot of information available around us that now it has become challenge. Instead of serving our purpose, it has now become challenge to filter out all the needful and not exactly the needful but the necessary information, and to simply cut down the noise around us. So the first step is to gather the information regarding this examination. There are 3 stages related to this examination. The first stage is the screening test. The first stage is the screening test that we also call as preliminary examination. In short, we call it as prelims stage. Prelim stage usually takes place in the month of May. Sometimes it takes place in June, also in the first half of June itself. So in the month of May and June every year, we have the prelim stage being conducted across India in different centers. In the prelim stage, you will find questions of the nature, objective kind of questions. Nature of question is objective, MCQ based questions basically. So that simply means that one question will be given to you, 4 options will be given to you next to it. And once you decide upon your answer, you have to fill the OMR sheet by filling this circle. This is how the prelims examination has been conducted. Now, in the prelims examination, what all subjects we need to study? The subjects that are, I would say, the primary or the major pillars of prelims examination are history. I will be coming to these subjects also in some time, but here I will be giving you the bigger picture. History, polity or political science, geography, international relations, now because we have been seeing questions coming from international relation, government intervention meaning government schemes, then we have Indian economy, we have science and technology, environment and ecology. These are the major themes around which you will find the prelims examination has been basically built or created. There will be total 100 questions and you have to attempt questions based upon with which you, the questions with which you are very, very comfortable with. There is also negative marking also, right? So when it comes to prelims, what sort of thing one would need? The first thing that one need to clear prelims is definitely the concept clarity. The concept clarity, first thing. Concept clarity directly comes from reading the right sources, revising those things and solving previous year questions, also the mock tests. The second important thing to understand here is, apart from the concept clarity, is the smart work. What sort of smart work I'm talking about? Smart work in terms of one should clearly understand that if the number of questions that you are solving in your final examination are in the range of 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, in whatever range, how many wrong questions you can afford or how many risky questions you can afford. This entire calculation one should be doing beforehand, and therefore I would say mocks are very important at this very stage. When you are writing down your mocks before the prelims examination, those mocks not only help you recall all the facts and the things and the logics that you have read in the entire last year, it also helps you to calculate that if I attempt this much number of questions, this is the number final marks I'm getting. So whether it will be taking you to the main stage or not will be decided then and there. So please be very careful and be very smart with the prelims stage itself. In the prelims stage, there will be two papers. Paper 1 will be of GS paper, where these subjects will be there, and paper 2 will be of CSAT paper, or basically the aptitude test. In the aptitude paper, again we have three broader areas. So CSAT, which we call it as CSAT, otherwise it's a aptitude test. Three broader areas include quantitative, I'm writing in short, quantitative aptitude, then logical reasoning and English comprehension. These are the three areas which you will find in your CSAT examination, right? And in your GS, that I have already told you. When it comes to the second stage of this examination, the second stage is called as the mains stage. Now, if you clear the cutoff and if you clear the minimum marks required in CSAT, that means CSAT is qualifying in nature. This is qualifying paper, qualifying in nature, right? So when you qualify CSAT, and also when you are fetching that number of marks in your GS paper, which will help you secure your seat for mains examination, then you reach to the second stage. Now, the second stage of the examination, which we call as mains examination, the nature of examination will not be objective anymore, it will be subjective. Meaning, you have to write the answers. There will be papers GS 1, 2, 3, 4, optional paper, essay paper and language paper, right? So here what you will find that the nature of question is subjective. That means you have to write down answer. So that very thing of answer writing becomes very, very important. Now, when to start it, I will be coming back to that point also. Because in the entire last year, you are reading about so many things on different subjects. When it comes to write one particular answer on one particular topic for 10 mark only, now that is a challenge. Do not underestimate this one. If you are well read, even then you would require a good and a clean hand while writing answer for UPSC mains examination, because the you can say limiting factors there would be time, obviously, pressure that you are going to get, and again because it's a hassle. So in a one single day you have to write down 2 papers. In the morning there will be GS paper 1, in the evening there will be GS paper 2. That means in the morning you are writing history, geography, Indian society, in the evening you are writing polity, IR, governance and all these areas. So definitely that's a task. One need to therefore very smartly calibrate how much I have to write, what exactly I'm going to write, what flow chart, what diagram, what areas I need to bold in. This is again an art that comes with the practice, lot of practice. So in the second stage you will find answer writing thing. Here your notes are going to help you a lot. Now please understand that a lot of students have this doubt that the syllabus for prelims is different and mains is different. Yes, I have got such queries as well. Understand, the syllabus is all same, whether you talk about prelims or you talk about mains. The broader areas are same that I have already mentioned in the beginning of the discussion, but in the mains part, in the entire GS 1, 2, 3, 4, very clearly syllabus is written. Now from this syllabus itself, the prelims areas would be taken up. Prelims syllabus, although you will also find there in the UPSC website also, but actually if you see, the prelims syllabus has been made from the mains itself. That is why it is called mains paper. The actual syllabus is this. From that, all those areas, subjects, topics are taken up, which will help us show our, you can say, knowledge, skill, caliber while solving the objective kind of questions. So questions like based upon ethical inquiry of any case study or ethical knowledge, meaning the subject ethics, GS paper 4, will not be there in objective or prelims stage. But definitely questions on history, geography, polity, that will be there. Either could be factual, could be analytical. Now more and more analytical questions you will be finding in your examination. Okay, so this is your second stage. The third stage related to the examination is the interview stage, which is the final stage. Interview stage. Now in the interview stage, in this particular stage, you will be facing the board itself, the interview board itself, right? So the few selected candidates who manages to clear the mains examination will be reaching the interview stage itself. In the interview, they will be asking you questions based upon the DAF or the form that you will be filling while your mains. Now it has also started at your very prelims stage itself. So whatever hobbies, whatever education background you are coming from, where exactly is your hometown, variety of questions they will be asking. So basically they would want to see the person as who you are, what sort of knowledge you have, what sort of views you actually hold. This entire preparation of 1 year or 1.5 years will or is basically having the capacity to transform a person completely, transforming it into somebody which has again that capacity and that you can say energy to bring lot of changes into the entire you can say the condition of lot of people, and also implementation of lot of policies of the government of India, right? These are the 3 broader stages. Now once you have the clarity as to as we have 3 stages that we have to face, and also this is the particular syllabus, and please download the syllabus from the UPSC website itself, right? Now let us move towards our second stage or second step, that is analyzing the syllabus, thoroughly review the official status. This was what I was telling you also. Analyze the syllabus. So syllabus itself is very important to be understood by each and every student. Lot of UPSC toppers you might have heard, and also your teachers also. I myself being a teacher, I always ask my students to visit the official website of UPSC and download the official syllabus, so that you read the syllabus and then you will be able to categorize the subjects in every syllabus, in every paper, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, right? Instead of hearing about the categorization from one of your roommates or one of your friends. No, just read it yourself. and read it word by word so that you understand what exactly is written here and how much and what exactly I need to cover. This is very, very important, right? This is also important for one more important thing, and that is newspaper coverage. While reading newspaper, if you have no idea about the UPSC syllabus, you will not be able to understand what news I should be covering, what news I should not be covering for this examination, which topic is related to what paper, and which article can be used for mains value addition, for prelims value addition, or for revision. You getting my point? So that is why it's very important from the day one itself to own your responsibility, to read the official status and not the status but the syllabus, and therefore to understand that one big picture that we are talking right from the beginning. You should be understanding that how the syllabus looks like and how I have to cover it. The next stage is meet eligibility criteria. Now I will not be covering all the eligibility criteria here. I am just going to tell you the main eligibility criteria. Anyone who is of the age 21 and above is eligible for this examination. Now as per different you can say caste categories, there are limitations on your number of years you can attempt this examination. So for general category students, it is 32 years. Till 32 years of age, you can basically attempt this examination. For OBC candidates, the maximum age limit is 35 years. For SC/ST candidates, it is 37 years. If I am not wrong, 38 or 37. That is the age. And a person with any sort of disability, that is basically 42 to 43 years. That is the maximum age limit there. Apart from the age criteria, there is also number of attempts, number of attempts also matter. So for any candidate coming from the general category, 6 is the maximum number of attempt that UPSC offers for any general category student. For OBC, it is 9 attempt, and for SC/ST category candidate, it is till their age, very age limit, that is 36, that is 37 or 38 years. They can be writing down this examination. So that way. So and also you should be graduate. The minimum education criteria required here is graduation. That is definitely the important point that you should be knowing. So if you are graduated, if you are anywhere above 21 years of age, you can definitely be writing this examination. Okay. The next important criteria is familiarize with exam pattern. Understand the format and timing of each paper. This is what I was telling you in the beginning. In the prelims examination, in those 2 hours, you have to solve GS paper 1, 100 questions, and in the CSAT paper, you have to solve 80 questions. I mean, there are 80 questions. You have to solve number of questions which will help you to clear that minimum criteria. In the mains examination, the question paper GS 1, 2, 3 will be having different questions. 20 questions, 18 questions, some parts are also there, right? So you have to manage how, or you have to basically decide how you have to write those answers down. Talking about your optional subject also, that is also very important. So one should be selecting optional very, very carefully, because optional subject is the game changer, I would say, right? Optional subject is the game changer. So in the optional paper, whatever subject you choose, it should really be, I would say, going with your, what I should be saying in a more Gen Z term, vibe. It should be going with your vibe, right? You should be able to easily link with that subject. That subject is that important. And also it is a subject where you are going to fetch more and more marks. If you are able to secure good number of or good marks in your optional subject, along with the entire GS preparation, your seat in the final list is in a way already secured. So please focus on your mains answer writing part and note making part, obviously. Then study previous papers. Now there are a lot of students have doubt regarding previous year question. I have been seeing a lot of students coming up to me saying, ma'am, we have solved all the previous year questions like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, but still we are not able to, we are not very confident in our preparation. This happens because when you are only mugging up the previous year questions and the facts in the previous year questions, then in that case you are not basically testing the knowledge that you have now soaked throughout this entire year's preparation, and that is where you are not able to find yourself anywhere standing in the category of students who already have that kind of confidence within them. So previous year question, what they actually do, they do two things to you. First of all, they help you understand the areas which are very important, and by areas I mean the specific topics which are repetitive, nature of topics also, and they are then also helping you understand what depth one need to touch while covering any particular topic. So use those previous year questions. While solving any previous year questions, you always understand, okay, fine, this is the depth I have to touch for while covering this topic. This is the variety that I have to cover while covering this subject, right? And accordingly, then you have to start making your notes and you have to start following any book. So these are the 5 very, very fundamental and important steps that one should first of all follow, and then gradually, start building over each one of these. So first step, what we have just discussed, understand there are 3 stages in the examination. First is objective, then is subjective, and then is the interview phase, right? Next stage is to analyze the syllabus, which will help you not only in your static part but also in your newspaper. Third, meet the eligibility criteria. You should be knowing the minimum eligibility criteria, and which is based upon your age, number of attempts, and also the graduation that one should be having, right? Then familiarize with the exam pattern. Basically, you should be understanding the format of the pattern, meaning this, somewhere you will be at one stage you will be having the objective one, at the other stage you will be having a subjective one, then there will be an interview stage. You should be understanding it. And last but not the least, how to work with the previous year questions, because they are not there to pose challenge to you. They are there to basically help you understand what length, breadth and depth you have to basically go while covering any topic, any subject for the examination itself. Okay, moving ahead. Now let's talk about planning and strategy. Now, how one should be planning the entire preparation and strategizing the preparation. So starting with, okay, these are the different areas. Okay, one by one we will be talking about these. So starting with this point, current affairs. Now current affair is one great challenge for lot of students, because when you talk about current affairs, students do not actually understand why current affair is so important part of your preparation. Understand this one very important thing, that when you are reading any subject, the information written there in that subject will be updating itself with the new discoveries, new findings, talking about history itself. Now history seems to be very, very static, but the recent findings that we are getting around IV's Indus Valley civilization, around any other thing related to history itself, right, you will only be able to find that in your newspaper, in your current affair coverage, before it becomes the part of your NCERT books or the static part few years later. So whatever you are reading in your static part, meaning in your books, that has been written because research over it has been already done few years back. Now whatever has been happening around that subject in the very recent year, you have to update that as well. So understand that current affair is going to plug in all those loopholes which the static part is not able to. But the static part itself is the 80% of your preparation, because the foundation, logic, concepts, all of these things will be coming from the static part itself. So when you are in your classroom, when you are listening to teachers, when you are learning a new concept, read it, understand it very, very carefully. Ask 10 type of questions on that particular thing, because that is going to make your foundation very, very strong. Unshakable foundation you will be having after that. Correct? And once you are able to, once you understand the importance of learning directly from a teacher, you are preparing it on your own, whatever it is, then you will be able to easily understand how current affair is basically adding more value to what I have already learned. So current affair is very important. Now, how to cover current affairs? A lot of students feel that only by following one particular magazine or any compilation, it will be sufficient for them to, clear the examination. Now, it could work for some students, but for majority of students, I have observed that this strategy doesn't work. Because when you read newspaper, you are actually reading the entire article. That entire article, when you are reading, your mind or your brain is basically working to find out the major issue that is being discussed there, the outcome, possible outcomes of that, what we can actually do. And if you see that article, any news editorial, let us say, in that particular fashion, where introduction is given, major issues are being discussed, some data has also been given to, supplant the issue being discussed in the article itself. What we can do, some international examples regarding this has been done. So when you read that particular article in that manner, your brain now start to see the entire article in that fashion from that time period onwards, which helps you understand the article in depth, number one, which helps you write brilliant answers in your mains, and also provides you sufficient data, knowledge, you can say for your essay paper also. Lastly, for your CSAT English comprehension also. Lot of students nowadays finding English comprehension very, very challenging. The main reason behind it is that now we are leaving the newspapers altogether, and we are simply, focusing on any sort of compilation. Even if you are following in sort of compilation, that is completely fine, but do not leave this habit of reading newspaper. Newspaper helps you understand the vocabulary. They also gives you lot of words with which you can write very good answers, and you can also shorten the length of one particular sentence. Understand these points. So this, this understanding of the nitty-gritties at this level is very, very important. So current affair, therefore, is very important pillar for your preparation. Choose any of the newspapers, either the Hindu, the Indian Express, any newspaper you would want to. The language should be friendly for your basic understanding. That is the whole objective. Do not follow any newspaper which you find is basically followed by 10 other students. This is not going to solve your purpose. This is your journey. You have to decide your own sources, not your friend, not anybody else. Okay? Be that clear about your preparation. So choose one newspaper. You want to make notes on current affair, that is up to you. You want to follow some compilation or some handouts of some teachers, that is up to you. That is totally up to you. But you should be reading newspaper, and then throughout your entire preparation, you should be reading newspaper like that only. It will give you, although very slowly, that confidence while covering a paper. Okay, first thing is that. So don't worry about current affairs. In fact, start reading newspaper. Second important thing is regarding your planning is deciding your optional subject. As I have already told you, optional subject has got very, very important role to play in your mains stage. It's either going to make it or break it. Choose that optional subject. Now, a lot of students are also very, very confused about choosing their optional subject. So they will be asking 10 of their friends, then 10 of other faculties, or maybe 10 of other family members, that whether they should be going for this, for that. Simply understand that this is the subject that you have to take up. You have to prepare this subject for your final examination. So the moment you are going to find your name in the mains list, meaning the ones who have cleared the prelim stage, now you are the one who has to go and write your optional examination, optional paper also in your mains exam. Nobody is coming with you to write your mains paper, right? And also your optional paper. Understand this. So the subject you should be choosing, take your time and choose a subject with which you are very comfortable reading and understanding. For that, what you can do, you can start looking at different optional subjects. Take out 3 to 4 subjects. If you are very much confused about the subject, take out 3 to 4. Narrow it down to 3 to 4. Once you narrow your options down to 3 and 4, then start looking at the previous year question. This is the simple, I would say, this is the simplest litmus test which help you clearly understand which one is your cup of tea and which is not. Look at the previous year questions. Once you look at the previous year questions, you will therefore be able to understand, okay, fine, from this particular subject, this sort of question and in this depth they are asking. Then also look at the syllabus of that optional subject. So by putting both the things in front of you, syllabus of that optional subject and previous year question of that particular subject, you will easily be able to find what particular subject suits me. Okay, do it in that manner. Next is study plan. Now it is very important to come up with a particular study plan. Lot of students have this myth in their mind that I should only be having one study plan and I'm going to rigidly follow it, religiously following it throughout the entire. This is not possible. We are not machines, we are humans. Sometimes you are feeling mentally slowing down. Sometimes your physical body is not supporting you to put in that much number of hours, and that is completely fine. Even I mean, this examination is not asking you to put every day like 12 plus hours of hard work every single day. No, that is not how it works. If you are trying to do that, you will be very soon feeling that burnt out and that lost in the middle of ocean kind of thing. Don't do that. So what you need to do, understand, and it again varies student to student. I always say this to my student also, that for a teacher, every student is different and therefore our strategy to deal with every student varies. Understand it from teacher's point of view. You are special in your own way. You have a particular sitting, you can say capacity in one particular course. Some students can be sitting for like 4 continuous hours and reading one particular chapter, finishing it all together in all the 4 hours. Some students are only able to sit for 1 long hour, could be 45 minutes, and then they are going to their friend's room, listening to some music, anything that way. Now do not judge yourself for not able to sit like 4 straight hours because your roommate or any of your extended family member is doing that. Do not do that. You are made different and you are special in your own way. Find your own path. If that 45-minute thing in one go works for you, well and good. Nobody is going to ask you at the end of your selection how many number of hours you are going to sit in one single stretch. No, nobody is going to ask that. The objective of you putting number of hours into your preparation in a single day should be that by the end of that particular hour or that sitting slot, I should be able to answer these 4 previous year questions. This is the whole objective. That is why majority of students who are sitting the entire day, at the end of the day, definitely they are having the feeling that I was preparing for the whole day, but where is the result? I am not able to solve previous year questions. And when they see previous year question or any sort of mock test, they usually feel very, you can say, anxious. But why I am not able to do that? Then you start to, get stuck into this whole preparation web. Do not let yourself slip into that web. So very important thing, understand that you have to come up with your own original study plan. In that study plan, either you should be fixing 3 subjects a day to cover, 2 subjects a day to cover, right? A proper morning routine should be there, and it's okay, it's completely fine that if you are, let us say, early riser, 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 4 a.m. and some days you are simply not able to wake up that early, that's completely fine. If you are able to read in the evening, in the, I would say in the late night, that is also completely fine, right? Objective is not going to change. Meaningful output should be there. Okay, you're getting my point. So make your own authentic plan. Okay, this is another important thing. Next is setting goals. Set your goals daily, weekly, monthly, bi-monthly and 6 month. What sort of target you are looking at. And when you are going to start your preparation, it will not be easy thing. Let me tell you that. Because when you are starting something, your mind is basically looking for some data. And that data should be coming from your own experience. If you had not prepared for any examination like this one you are going to prepare now, you are not basically having any data stored in your mind. Your body have not experienced that basically. That if I sit for this long hour, if I put this much number of hours for this subject, I will be able to get it done. Don't do that. First of all, let yourself settle down into the preparation for, let us say, a couple of months, 2 months, 3 months. In that entire span of 2 to 3 months, you will be able to understand that yes, for this particular subject, I am happily giving this much hour. This is one which is giving me little tough time right now in the beginning. So basically, ask 10 type of questions, thousands of questions from your teachers. We are here to help you basically. And then start to, befriend that subject also. So first of all, gather that experience of your own, and then your brain will automatically in the very fourth and by the time you reach 5th month will start to give you the sense that okay, fine, in a week I will be able to do that, and this period of time I will be able to do that. So give yourself that benefit of doubt that after 2 months of preparation or after 2 months of getting into the, let us say, coaching itself, I will be able to find my own way. That's completely fine. Then self-assessment, which is very important. Self-assessment meaning whatever you have read the entire week, are you able to make sense of it at the end of the week? So for example, you are reading history, polity and geography in a week. You are also attending your classes, and then you are going back to your PG or room, and then you are reading it. Try to understand that whenever I'm getting a single day off or 2 day off, whatever it is, try to revise the things that you have already read. And revise, what I mean in the very first go is whatever things teacher has already told you in the class, whatever notes have already been provided to you in the class, read through it. Try to make sense out of it. If any previous question has been discussed in the class, like in our classes, we will be giving you the previous questions also in the class itself. That will always help you better clear that topic, better understand that topic. So weekly do that. If you are not able to do that, come to us very next day. Ask why I am not able to do this, ma'am or sir. Where is the problem exactly? So then we will be telling you what is going wrong with your preparation right now. But do not panic in the first instance. It will take your time for your mind and for your body to settle down into this habit of reading, revising, analyzing yourself. Analysis is very, very important. Without analyzing yourself, your progress, your preparation, you will not be able to move to the next step of your preparation. It will not be helping you in the long run. Do not slip into that very negative zone of mental setup that I'm not able to do this, but also critically analyze yourself in a sense that if you're not able to understand this thing, even if you have covered this topic in your class, then that means that some more effort need to be done. And then again, if it's not coming out anyway, then you have to come to your teacher. That's completely fine. So analyze yourself, right? It's always good to come out of your comfort zone or our own created bubble to basically understand how ruthless this journey is, because you have to every day read like 3 subjects or 2 subjects, maybe along with the newspaper, sometimes also with your CSAT classes. So that is how one need to understand. Next important thing is building a strong foundation. How we can build a strong foundation? So it takes a lot of these subjects. Now this is very important stage. In order to build strong foundation, what all things you need to do? Step by step you have to walk. The first step is to build build that basic understanding. Basic understanding meaning understanding of the subject itself. Now, as I have told you, there are different subjects. Most of the students are confused as to with what book they have to start and how many books they have to cover. Being a history teacher, I myself found myself many times, in the center of this big pool of questions coming from my own students asking, ma'am, but my friend is reading that, but that one sources I feel is more important. I only ask one question from each one of my students. Are you able to complete that book? Or are you able to complete those 10 books in this span of time you are ready to give to yourself? This examination consists of different subjects. There are more than 5, 8, 7 subjects. You have to cover all those subjects. Understand that balancing every subject and input-output ratio of every subject is very important. So our purpose here is not to cover 10 books on one subject, rather to cancel out noise around us and to simply focus on one or maximum two books on one particular subject, along with the teacher's note, handouts. So whenever you are going to attend classes at any of your coaching classes, let us say at Mentora IAS only, you will be given the handout itself. Now there you will be able to understand that, okay, fine, this is the topic, these are the dimensions that I have to cover, this is I have to prepare, and this one book is solving my purpose. And I always ask students to start with the basic NCERTs, because NCERT in a very simple words gives you the clarity about anything. Then you have to go to the higher book, the reference book, which is suggested by any of your teachers. Then start parallelly solving the PYQs. This is how one should be going step by step to every higher step. Okay. Second is NCERT books. This we have discussed. Understand NCERT books, build your foundation. These are very important. Many times I have found direct questions coming from NCERT, especially geography. Nowadays, if you see geography being asked in more quantity in your prelims examination, directly coming from your NCERT books. So do not underestimate NCERT. Start with your NCERT, then start with your reference book. Or you can, if you are able to balance both, parallelly balance both, then any standard book, this is the proper sequence. So for example, if you are starting with your ancient India, I will be suggesting you that this is 6th class NCERT you have to follow. Parallel you have to cover this particular standard book for your ancient India. For medieval we will be changing that, for modern we will be changing that, likewise. After that, note making thing. Now a lot of students have this doubt that, ma'am, I should be starting with the note making stuff in the very beginning, because if I start it late, then it will become very bulky on my own preparation. That is true to some extent, but understand that whenever you are making notes in the first instance, everything seems very important to you. When you are reading it for the second time, then for the third time, then for the fourth time, then you understand that these are the areas that are important from this entire paragraph. So even if you want to start making notes right from the very beginning of your preparation, be very careful about making notes and the way you are making. Do not copy the entire paragraph written in your book into your handouts also, into your own notes also. So here you can take help of your teacher. When you are making notes, go and ask your teacher, ma'am or sir, am I making it correct or not? This will always help you. A lot of my students are doing that. This always helps you. So the first note that you're going to make, or first content of your own that you're going to make, second time you're going to read that, you're going to highlight the major, third time you're going to read, you will be able to make the flow chart in itself. That one pager will automatically be with your own notes in the very fourth revision. Do it like that, layer by layer. Okay. Then conceptual clarity. Without concept, you are not going to go anywhere. Right? This is not a game of mugging up the facts only. No. This is not a game of pure luck also. No. This is a game of pure hard work. Luck simply follows hard work. Anyone who has clearly unlocked the, you can say, that entire box of concept in every subject, who is able to easily understand the concepts of every subject, history, polity, geography, that student is able to also understand current affair, and that is simply helping them to write good answers in mains. So basically focus on your concept. For that you have to read from the authentic source book, and you have to, if you need, then you have to also ask for the help, meaning you could be asking your teachers. That's very important. If you are making your foundations on the wrong platform itself in the very first instance, it's going to not take you anywhere. Understand that. Next is the strong foundation. So understanding complex concepts as well. So here I would again say that take help of your teachers at every stage of your preparation, because they have the experience, they have the knowledge about those things also. They will, number one, give you clarity about the topic. Number two, they will save a lot of your time, which otherwise you will be spending searching it on other different platforms, okay, and gathering the material. So they are going to anyway help you. In this manner, if you go, like starting with your basic NCERT books, number one, then your reference books, working with your note making thing, parallelly following the newspaper, this will help you layer by layer although slowly, but get you to that final stage where you are having strong conceptual foundation and you are also able to solve lot of questions, previous year questions itself. So I hope we are clear at this point. Now the next very important thing that we are going to talk about is mastering your prelims examination. Although we have talked about the strategy regarding, not exactly strategy, but the nature of prelims examination itself. Now let us talk about the strategy regarding prelims examination. So these are the few things which are very important when it comes to your prelims examination. Number one is focusing on general studies, because we have discussed this earlier also. The morning paper, paper 1, will be your GS paper. Now in the GS paper there will be 100 questions. There will be 100 questions on different subjects. What subjects we have just discussed? Subjects like history, polity, geography, then subjects like now we have also started seeing that UPSC has been asking 1 or 2 questions on international relations sometimes. That is also there. Then Indian economy, questions on Indian economy. Another question, another area, science and technology, environment and ecology, New area is sports, some reports, awards, right? So basically any current affair related question you will be finding. So I'm writing it separately here as well, current affairs. Okay. So this is what you are going to see in your GS paper 1 prelims. So and when I'm talking about the CSAT preparation or CSAT examination, again aptitude part is very important. This also we had discussed earlier. So when I talk about aptitude, 3 very important areas: quantitative aptitude, LR, logical reasoning, and English comprehension. This is very important part. These are very important parts. Both the paper 1 and paper 2 are of 2 hours basically. So in these 2 hours, the challenge is to cover the number of questions. Here you will find 80 questions and you have to simply attempt the questions which you are really confident about, and you have to basically clear that minimum cutoff in the CSAT paper. So the thing is, the challenge in prelims examination, as we have already discussed, is time, number one. And second, in this limited time, we have to recall the important concepts also. We have to select what all topics we are really sure about, what all questions we are really sure about. So if you are clearing that minimum qualifying criteria of CSAT paper, and then if you are falling into that total marks category of paper 1 where you are able to qualify for your mains examination only, then you will be able to secure your seat in the mains exam. So it's very important to therefore do this entire calculation in the very beginning, that how many number of questions I'm going to do and how many questions I am ready to take the risk with. That risky part in the prelims examination always is game changer. So you have to therefore be very smart with your preparation here. This we have already covered in the beginning itself. Then solving the MCQs. Now here MCQs not only include the previous year questions but also the mocks. Lot of mock tests you have to solve. PYQ always gives you the clarity of topics, what topics are constantly being asked in examination and what areas you have to cover. Also it gives you the idea of the depth of the topic one need to cover. Second is solving mock tests. Mock tests help you to solve the questions on time, and also it will help you in value addition, lot of value addition. Okay, that way they are important. Next is mock test. This we have discussed. Manage your time. Manage your time meaning ensure that you are doing all this preparation and then the final examination also in that defined time only. Use elimination technique. Elimination technique only works if you have conceptual clarity. So if there are 4 statements given to you in any question, you are able to let us say directly apply the concept and you are able to solve two statements of that question. What about the other 2? There you have to apply the logic of that concept. So therefore it's important to build your concept very, very strong and very, very clear, because the application part only works with that concept only works in any question if you have clarity about the concept itself at the first place. So understand these things. If you are doing things in this manner, meaning if you are building up your concepts, if you are revising them multiple times, solving previous year questions and solving the mock tests, it will definitely be help you attempt good number of questions in your prelims examination. Next is regarding your mains preparation. Next is regarding your strategy regarding your mains. Now, your mains consists of these following areas. So first of all, understand, let us start from this one. Preparation technique. Strategy to enhance the performance. Understand that here you have to write answers. So number 1 requirement to write answer is to recall the core concept or core the details about which the question is being asked there. Number 2, you should be able to write that answer in specific time only, so that you should be covering the entire paper, right? So here working with flowcharts, diagrams helps a lot. You have to be very, very creative while writing down your answer. Marks are basically given to the core answer that you are giving, not to any length you are writing. So focus on that part. You should be exactly hitting the demand of the question. Here, most of the students are usually confused between what to write in any question where the term comment is written, right? Critically analyze is written, analyze is written. So that you have to understand very slowly in your classes itself. Teachers will be helping you understand how you have to answer those questions, because if you are not focusing on that particular part where next to the statement, comment, critically analyze is written, you are simply not going to hit that main demand of the question, and therefore you are going to lose marks. So this is very important thing. Then writing skills and analytical presentation. Not only writing but also add more creative things into it, flow charts, diagrams, and also structure to your answer is very, very important. So when you are reading the newspaper itself, this is something I was telling you earlier also, read the article so that your brain get into the habit of understanding the introduction part, the main issue they have discussed there, and the way out or the way forward. So these are the things. Then specialized knowledge in chosen subject. Here we are talking about the optional subject paper. Yes, this one was related to the essay paper. In essay paper, you need not to go for special, you can say preparation. Essay paper content comes from whatever you are reading throughout the year, and also how beautifully you can now add that information to your final essay. Next is the optional subject. I have emphasized enough on this particular part that choosing optional subject is a game changer. I have already given you the very mantra of how you can be choosing your optional subject. Use that strategy, find your optional subject which vibe with you. Okay. Then next is general studies paper. So there are GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you will be having your options. So again, the broader understanding of the subject is very, very important. You will not get time in your GS paper or in your optional paper to beautify your answer. You are not going to get that. You are only be getting time to simply write the main answer to what has been asked. So be that straight, be that clear about the demand of mains paper. Then core requirement of the examination is in-depth knowledge and analytical skills, because mains paper is analytical at every level. They are going to check how deeply you are understanding the concept and what different areas you can be basically moving to while writing answer on a particular topic. So that only comes with the revision, understanding the topic and solving a lot of questions on that. So here also previous year mains question helps you understand the mains demand of this examination. Next stage is the interview stage. So in the interview stage, what is really important is your detailed DAF. This detailed application form is the one which is giving the idea to the interviewer as who you are basically. So whatever you have written in your DAF, start reading about that. If you have, for example, if you have a hobby, let us say you play badminton, you should be knowing each and everything about badminton. I mean, very basic things regarding it, right? If you love reading books, you should be knowing what genre you are basically following, what things you are basically getting out of it, and your educational background, the place from where you have come. You should be having wider knowledge about it. Now, it is not possible to cover or to basically answer every question with that kind of detail. But yes, we basically try to cover every aspect related to any individual. So cover that one. Importance of current affair is very, very important. You should be knowing what is happening around you. Practice mock interviews. This will again give you, that idea that how you should be presenting yourself. So presenting yourself is again very important. What you should be wearing, how you should be speaking, how you are sitting, how you are, tackling the question is very important. Develop a balanced perspective. So a lot of issues, we all know that a lot of issues are going around us, a lot of problems are going around us, but how you are going to work around those issues, how you are going to find those steps, and how you are going to work with those things that are going to give you the final solution, that perspective of yours is very, very important. So have you been developing that one throughout this particular preparation or not? That is what is going to be checked here. Then be confident and be authentic. So next is revision and consolidation. We have already discussed this, but without revision, you are not able to clear your examination. Simple and straight. Once you have conceptual clarity, then you have to revise it multiple times so that you can be understanding the things in greater depth, and then only you will be able to write good answers. Even for your prelims examination, it's very, very important. So regular revision is basically the key here. Role of previous year paper, previous year question, we cannot basically ignore, and maintaining a positive attitude. This is again regarding the self-analysis part. Many times in this entire journey, we feel very stuck. Many times we feel very overburdened, overwhelming. But it's very important to understand that this is very normal to feel overwhelmed. It's very normal to feel burnt out, because lot of subjects you are dealing with, lot of mental pressure you are dealing with. Your days are not always that shining and bright, right? So some days you are very energetic, some days you are not, some days your output is too high, some days it's too low. That's basically how a normal human works. So you have to basically align your preparation plan and strategy according to how human body works, not as per some robotically made idea of you working 12 hours a day and simply reading. So in the very first month only you will be feeling burnt out. So be very, very practical around these things. Next is fuel to the success. What is the fuel to the success? The fuel to the success is this only. No momentary motivation is going to help you in this entire journey. What is going to help you is consistency. Regularly put efforts into your entire journey. So one single drop every day will ultimately turn or transform into a big ocean. Trust that part. Second, discipline. It's very important that even if you are not able to put 8 hours a day today, at least revise though, and you are not feeling like reading new thing, at least revise the things that you have already read. Read newspaper so that you get a new dimension. You are able to read a new dimension today. Start reading your optional, right? So do, or I would say manage your day like that, so that every day you are learning something new, or every day you are adding some value to your already, created knowledge base. Do something like that. So every day you have to be disciplined. It's not like one week you are reading, then next week you are simply out of the sync. Then it will become very tough for you to get into the plan or into this entire practice back again with the same zeal. Try to maintain that. Then perseverance. It's very important to keep going. It's very important to feel, as I have told you, overwhelmed and hopeless at times, because that will always be help you to understand that it's important. It's a very common saying that it's only when we touch the rock bottom we realize that we have to now rise up. So it's important at the same time that when difficulties are coming your way, that means you are live, you are feeling that pain, and now you have to get back to the surface. So it's very important. Do not fear any of these things. Next is self-belief. You are only able to clear this examination. No, somebody else's made plan, book list, day schedule is going to help you there. Your own authentic plan, own authentic book list, own effort, whether you do it, happily or with a crying face, it doesn't matter. If you're clearing your examination with that sheer effort, you will be clearing it at the end of the day. So do that part. So have that self-belief that it will eventually turn in my favor, and then right guidance. It's very important to ask for a guidance, number one, and then to seek it from your teachers. Because teachers are already into this field for so long time period now, that they are easily able to understand what you are going through right now, right? So understand that what sort of books I have to follow, how I have to work with my note making thing, how many previous year questions I have to solve, where exactly am I going wrong, what is going wrong with my preparation, am I putting more input and not getting more output, what is exactly going wrong with my preparation. Everything your teacher will be able to give you answer in the very first instance. But for that, you have to ask your teacher for that, right? So here at Mentora IAS, we are ready to help you in any manner that way, which ultimately help you clear this examination. So this is basically the fuel to clear the examination. So my last word before I conclude, before I finish this entire discussion here, I would like to conclude it now by saying that you have to create your own path. You have to decide on your own book list, right? You have to decide on your own optional subject. You have to decide on your everyday's plan. You have to make your own notes. Whether making it or not, that is also up to you. Everything is to be made by you only. This is your authentic journey. You have to walk that path. Now in this path, there are teachers to guide you. Take help of your teachers, take help of our experience, right? So that you are saving your own time and you are also focusing at the same time on your goal only. Cut down all the noise around you, right? And keep on reading, revising, solving lot of questions, so that you every day enter into the new area of one same topic. There are a lot of dimensions in one same topic. Every time when you are reading the same page, you will find one new dimension. If it is happening with you, so that is a good sign. That means you are understanding every possible direction related to that topic, right? So these are my final concluding words to you, that keep going, keep believing yourself, and keep on putting efforts every single day. Eventually, things turn in our favor. So with this, I would like to now finish this discussion here. If you have got any more doubts, any further doubts, please write us down in the comment section. We would like to help you solve all your doubts here at Mentora IAS. Thank you.